Okay, fifth grade, we get to do an optical illusion. I'm actually going to use marker. I would suggest you use pencil, but if you would like to use marker and you have a lot of paper, then go ahead and use marker. Okay, the first things first, you're going to start a line, like a wavy line. Not too wavy, but kind of a big wave from one side of the paper to the other. Almost like a horizon line. And then on this line, we're going to add little dots. Now, if you're using a marker, you don't want your dots to be as big as mine. I'm just making these dots big so that you guys can see them. And notice how my dots are about 1 inch apart. So if you do your finger like this is about 1 inch length. You can use that as your measuring tool, or you can just freehand it. And now we're going to start from one side of the paper. We're going to draw a curved line to the dot. 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 And so on and so forth. And then off the page. Okay. Go back to this. I'm going to turn it this way just so you guys can see. My lighting is a little messed up. And I'm always going to go back to this dot. Now, we are going to have to color in inside of all of these, so you want these curved lines to be about like a pencil width. So if I had a pencil, see how my pencil can fit inside that line? You don't want them to be too close together. Okay. So now I'm going to keep going, and I'm always going all the way back to that dot. I'm going to show you a couple mistakes people make when they're doing this optical illusion that will cancel it out. So on this piece of paper, I did a couple. One thing people do, and let me outline this marker, is they overlap. So when they're doing their curved lines, they'll overlap the other curved lines. You don't want that to overlap right there. And they'll just keep overlapping and overlapping, and that is not what we want to do, so we're going to X that out. Do not do that. Also, if your lines are too close together, it's going to look really, really cool if you do it right, but it's going to take you so long to color it in, and you don't really need to do that. So we're going to go back here, and I'm going to continue going all the way back to the dot. Can everybody say go back to the dot? I need you to go back to the dot. Now you can start thinking, okay, maybe I want this to go. You can just do one thing at a time. You can make it one of them larger, and then this one would just stop. Okay, remember I'm going right up against that line, so that one just stops. You're kind of squeezing them in, if that makes any sense. But to keep it simple, I would just do this. Back to the dot, curved line, back to the dot, curved line, back to the dot. And another thing that's really cool, when you go back to that dot, see how it creates this really dark line in the center? That's going to aid in creating that optical illusion. It's going to help create that optical illusion. And you want to go all the way off the top of the paper. So I'm going to go back and fill in any little areas. Okay, so I got the top part done. You're just going to flip it upside down and do the same thing on the other side. Whoa, you don't want this first one to be that line to be too curvy. So like this is kind of a large space. That's not a pencil width, that's almost a marker length. So I'm going to go back inside and add another one. Okay, and then I'm going to keep going. Remember, if you need to pause the video, then do so. Just remember to go back to that first dot on that wavy line. And everybody's going to look different, okay? Don't think, oh, mine does not look like yours. That's okay. It doesn't have to look like mine. It's your artwork. as long as you're following the steps and going back to the dot, I'm sure it's going to turn out awesome. Just try your very best. It's all that counts. And you can always go back and do another one if you don't like it. I do it all the time. Practice makes perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to speed this up, and we're going to continue to go all the way off the page. Don't forget to go back to that line, that dot, to create that dark value right there. And once we finish, watch the next video on how to add value and color in. Have fun!